extraordinary afternoon at Council today with all councillors except Sarah Templeton voting in favour of the 30,000 seat capacity stadium. What a dramatic turnaround.
It certainly was, Chris. I had a gut feeling when I woke up this morning with that red sky that something was in the offing. And it has certainly proven to be Redemption Thursday for the City Council. Perhaps the fact we've got an election 13, 14 months away may have sharpened the minds of some who were happy with 25,000 a few weeks ago. But it was quite an exhaustive process before we got to the vote just after 5 o'clock. But it was quite clear from the debate side of the meeting this afternoon that a number of key councillors were doing a 180. As I had indicated earlier in the week, I thought some of the crucial votes were Jake McClellan, who was the Central Ward councillor. Clearly, as a councillor for that central city, I think it was beholden on him to uphold the interests of the central city businesses who were so passionate about the need for 30,000. He flipped. Another critical vote was Tim Scandrett. He's got a huge background in event management, and I thought it was utterly fatuous that on the July 22 vote, he recused himself from that vote on the basis that he was a board member of Venues Ōtautahi. What's more important is Tim Scandrett representing his city as a Cashmere Ward councillor or being a board member on Venues Ōtautahi? He wisely got some legal advice, voted today and voted in favour of 30,000. They were the critical ones for me. Obviously the Mayor doing a flip was crucial, and I think it was very, very interesting that Andrew Turner, the would-be Mayor, the heir to Leanne Dalzell, although Phil Major may have something to say about that, Andrew Turner also did a major flip after making some pretty hard-nosed comments in the media in the last week or so about how he couldn't live with these huge figures being added to the bill for the stadium.
But then, of course, all those who voted against the 30,000 seat stadium last time round, in a roundabout way, were blaming the staff members, the consultants who say they didn't get enough information in the first place. So there is some truth to that too, because first of all, it was $88 million for a 30,000 coveted stadium. Then it got to about 70,000. Then, of course, only just a couple of days ago, it was 50 million, sorry.
Yes.
So, I mean, you can kind of, they've got a point. The information they got was incorrect, wasn't it?
Well, I think it was actually really sloppy. If you look back at the process that started apparently in late June when the Mayor, Deputy Mayor and Sam McDonald as Deputy Finance Chair, they were all given the heads up high level that there was a problem, Houston, with the stadium budget. What transpired from then until July 22 when they had the meeting to reduce the 25,000 to reduce the capacity to 25,000. Yeah, I just don't think there had been enough behind the scenes assessments and options presented. And as we've seen, as you refer to, Chris, over the last week or so, it's sort of like a reverse telethon where the figure's gone from 88 to 67 to 50. And when you factor in that it was confirmed at the council meeting today, divesting Orange Theory Stadium, many hectares of land, prime residential land, that is probably going to generate about $30 million, maybe more. So take that off the bill and we're left with a $20 million cost overrun. Now, just for a little bit of recent history, the Christchurch Town Hall had a $40 million overrun on a project that ended up being 160 million, right? So 40 million on 160. This is a $473 million project, and if you take the Orange Theory Stadium sale off the bill, it's only a $20 million overrun on 473. Really, at the end of the day, it's small beer in terms of what an incredible asset we're going to end up with.
And just finally, perhaps not the elephant in the room, but somebody who you could argue was strong on her convictions, and that was Sarah Templeton, who did in fact vote against it, saying there'd been not enough consultation when it comes to the climate. So in some respects, you could say at least she's consistent with her policy thinking. What did you make of that? Did you expect her to change her mind?
Well, actually, she struck me as more strident today than I thought she would be, Chris. I mean, I know she likes to fashion herself as the Julianne Genter of Christchurch, and I don't doubt the sincerity of her views. Zealotry, alarmism, as I think a lot of it is. But, I mean, we got a bit of a rant from Sarah today that started off with climate change and what impact would the stadium have on climate change, for God's sake. And then she started trotting out her shopping list, her wish list of projects that the $50 million could be spent better on in Sarah's world, including housing the homeless. Probably, actually, I don't know if she mentioned cycleways. Maybe she forgot about the cycleways. But I really thought it was all a bit overwrought from Councillor Templeton, but we wouldn't expect anything less.
Very interestingly said. Mike Yardley, good to see you and thanks for your time this evening.
Thank you, Chris, and a great day for Christchurch. Sanity has prevailed. We'll get our world-class stadium.
There you go.